Matthew chapter 6, verse 11. Are you ready for this? Give us today our daily bread. There's one thing you need to know. God provides for those he loves. It may not always be as you expect, but God provides. Let me tell you a story. A man called George Muller once ran orphanages in Bristol in the 1830s. Quite a long time ago, 100 years ago now. One morning, George Muller awoke to the news that the orphanage, which housed 300 children, had no food. Muller instructed the house mother to seat all the children in the dining room. He thanked God for food, in principle anyway, even though there was none there. And they waited for God to provide, as he always did. Within minutes, there was a knock at the door. It was the baker. "Mr. Muller," he confessed, "last night I could not sleep. Somehow I knew that you would need bread this morning." Trying to do a Bristol accent here. not very successful. "I got up and baked 3 batches for you. I'll bring it in." 3 batches of bread. Then another knock. A milkman turned up. His cart had broken down in front of the orphanage. The milk would spoil by the time the cart was fixed, the milkman explained, so would the children like some free milk? And as the orphanages grew, God provided heat, medicine, warm clothes, and always more bread for over 100,000 children. 100,000! One could say George Muller had a landline to heaven. And while Muller's life may seem extraordinary, that same God who showed up every day at Muller's door invites us to boldly go with him. Here we go again, more Star Trek references. To boldly go with him to ask him for our daily needs. Give us today our daily bread suddenly takes on a whole new meaning when we listen to that story. The baker turns up with his dodgy Bristol accent and suddenly he's like, I've got these extra loaves. And the milkman breaks down in front. I mean, it's bonkers. My wife Amanda and I have so many stories of God's provision. And just when I think I've got the point, he does something else that reinforces the fact we have stories to tell. We wouldn't be in this house that we live in if it wasn't for the faithfulness of God. So when we pray, let's be expectant that God our Father, our loving Father in heaven, will provide us the food we need. Let's expect it, for he will do so.